What's up, everybody? This is Farai, and you're joining us for, I believe it's episode 3 of the ThirdStrike Junkies podcast. Yeah, we haven't been pretty active, and that's why I can't even remember what episode we're on right now. But we've got ReNiC on today, and we're at his pad. So thanks for having us over, man, and thanks for providing video podcast for us today.
Yeah, we're really bumping it up, right?
Yeah, high technology, my friends. So I've got an announcement that I wanted to get out of the way first. We've already talked about it a little bit, but we're doing the ThirdStrike tournament at SoCal Regionals. The price is $10 total. It's $5 goes to the pot and $5 spectator fee. The spectator fee is variable. I think it's like $40 or something if you enter the, like marquee games, I guess you would call them, like Street Fighter 4 and Marvel vs. Capcom 3 or Ultimate. But for Tekken and ThirdStrike, it's only $5. So it's not going to break your wallet or anything. I don't think I could afford a $50 tournament these days either. So we hope to see you guys out there. That's December 17th and 18th, although I think ThirdStrike is just on Saturday. But we'll be there in full force. I don't know if Eric will be there. If you hear any keyboard taps or anything, Eric's playing a little StarCraft right now. But Matt will be there. And I want to try to maybe get some casuals going in a hotel room the night after the tournament. So ask around if you guys want to play some ThirdStrike after the tournament, let us know. But anyway, let's jump right into it. I don't think we've done a podcast since Online Edition is released, and it's been like 2 or 3 months now. So let's get some initial thoughts, even though they're not that fresh anymore, of ThirdStrike Online Edition, because I know Ty's been playing it a lot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, nobody I really know that even has been playing it a lot likes it that much, which sets the tone pretty right off the bat that we're not too pleased with it, are we?
No, not too pleased with it. It has just, it just still has, it's just not polished off, and obviously whoever they asked to, revamp the game or whatever didn't really know, the roots of it or whatever, or the direction they had to go. A lot of just simple, like, basic things are missing, just in the interface and all that, and
Well, okay, to not make it too negative, let's get like the good things out of the way.
Okay, well, okay, yeah.
What do you like about it?
I like that, I like that I get to play ThirdStrike on a new gen console.
Is that about it?
That's about it, yeah. I mean, like, it's just, if they would have been taught, like, saying it's this, and when they released it, it was that, I would have been fine. But if they're saying arcade perfect, and it's not at all, it's like you're gonna get that reaction from people.
Yeah.
But if you just say, hey guys, we're gonna give this to a third-party company, we're gonna throw GGPO on it, and just you're gonna be able to at least play some version of ThirdStrike on the newest gen console, and it'll be like, what, all right, what more can we ask for? We can't ask you to get it right for the third or fourth time you try to revamp this game.
Yeah.
So. So that's, would have been fine with that, but you can't say, arcade perfect, jackasses, eat it. Oh wait, never mind.
Yeah.
Thank you for the money. But yeah, no, but I, just glad I get to play ThirdStrike.
Well, let's talk about the term arcade perfect then. I mean, more modern games, I think the term arcade perfect doesn't hold a lot of weight because the majority of people that play fighting games these days don't even play them in arcades anymore. But in our case, we're playing a game that's like 11 years old, at least now, I think released in '99. So coming up on 12 years now. It was made in the arcade, CPS3, and I think this process has made me realize that we're never going to get an arcade perfect
No, I know, and
console release of
and
ThirdStrike.
that's why I would have been fine if they just said, we're going to release it just whatever we can do.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I don't understand why they use the term arcade perfect. I think people have kind of deduced just based on observations as players that it seems to be the old Dreamcast code with some changes to make it closer to the arcade version. Like of course the example I always look to first is, does Akuma have his throw invincibility on his command overhead? And they put that in, but you know it's.
And I also tested Makoto's after her neutral grab.
Oh, the invincibility.
The invincibility. She still has that.
Mhm.
So I went to first obscure stuff like that, and it does have some of the obscure stuff,
Mhm.
but that's not really like the problem, you know what I mean?
No, and even then, those little nuances, they didn't get them all complete. I know this is going to sound super nitpicky to a lot of people, and it probably is, but one of the things that bothered me was there was a glitch in arcade version where if you teleported with Akuma and Yang had Sambu activated, all the
Right.
shadows would go away, pretty much negating the super. But that was something they viewed as a bug that needed to be removed. And now in online edition, that doesn't happen anymore. And that bugs me. You know?
You're an Akuma player, so
Yeah.
you care more, yeah.
Yeah, of course. You know, those little nuances
Yeah, no,
most
I mean,
players aren't going to care about, but it's something that bothered me. Now, like, facing somebody that plays Saiyanbu is actually legitimate. And before I did not have to learn that you know how to play against that super, which then sounds lazy on my part.
Yeah, now you're just a jackass.
But like that's also a really difficult matchup for Akuma. And so like another thing to worry about was not something that I really took kindly to. But then again, like I have a very small number of hard matchups and you have a million.
Yeah, so. Okay.
We're going to talk about Alex later though. That's a different story.
Oh, perfect.
Like as far as bad things, and we could go on and on, like I don't even own online edition, and I was 100% interested in buying it. You know, I really wanted it. I wanted Denshin is closed now, so
Yeah.
the ability to play has, you know, dropped quite a bit. There's not a lot of avenues for us to get competition anymore, even though we're in SoCal. But I remember playing it like the night that the PlayStation 3 version was released over at Victorly's house, and just thinking, this shit sucks. Like, the timing felt really
Okay.
bad.
So, okay, yeah, okay, the time, like, okay. For me, the hardest thing was getting used to, because, okay, well, first of all, I'm never, just considering how things are going, and because, you know, I'll probably never put in as much time in ThirdStrike on console as I have in arcade.
Yeah.
It's never gonna add up that
Yeah.
way. You know what I mean? So the whole like the challenge was to be able to transition this huge amount of time in the setting of arcade and try to shake that and make myself be comfortable on console.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest part about it. Like, you can deal with the timing differences and stuff like that a whole lot easier if you're familiar with the environment, if you're more comfortable with it. So that was like the biggest thing. And I actually had to like go start playing like MVC3 to get comfortable on console, and then I could play ThirdStrike online better because I was just more comfortable with console, with the stick moving around, stuff like that.
That's something that
you
still
know,
bothers me too.
8 buttons on the thing, stuff like, you know. So that's probably the biggest part of that.
One thing that really bothered me, you know, I gotta say, like, one of the things I was looking forward to most with Online Edition was a more fleshed out training mode, and that was not something that happened at all. It's pretty much the same as the PS2 version. I mean, I know they've patched it a couple of times and there's been some improvement, but there's still no input display, right?
No, because I forgot what it was. I don't think they wanted input display, honestly, because I forget what it was, but someone was doing a very bizarre motion. I can't remember who I was with. Anyway, it was the most bizarre motion I've seen, and he was getting like this like, there should have been like no way he was getting at whatever move was coming out, and he was getting it.
You seem to trying to like hide, you know, the way it detects
kind of feels like it,
inputs in the game.
It's like, you know, it'd be like a super neat feature, because that would be something other than the decals or whatever, the crisp, smooth, you know, other than that new stuff they brought to the game. That would be really neat to bring like a newer training mode option to an older game.
Yeah, I totally agree.
But
I mean, the thing that always bothered me so much was,
especially with people helping people learn.
yeah,
If someone does a combo video, they can leave that on, and whoever is trying to learn this can just look right there and oh, those are the inputs.
yeah, like something like trying to learn, you know, advanced lightning legs techniques or like demons and stuff. Being able to see, you know, just the exact problem with your inputs would help so much, but it's just not an option in ThirdStrike. And I don't know why that seems like such an easy feature to include, but that was disappointing. The record feature was the same crappy parry training thing that you had, you know,
yeah,
for
some
PS2.
for some reason, you have to, and when you're recording in parry, I had to like get really like genius type stuff to make this one video, because when you record the dummy in the parry version, the other character is parrying always.
Yeah.
It's not blocking.
It's fucking annoying.
It's not blocking. So you do a combo, and so let's say you want to practice a red parry. You know what I mean? So you do Yun's 1, 2, 3, jab, short, medium punch. But so you do it against the character, and it goes 1, 2, 3, because the guy's parrying. Okay, but so let's say you wanted to red parry the third hit. So when you replay it, you block the first two, but it's like 1, and then the next one isn't a real hit.
Yeah,
because
you did it with the timing of the parry when you recorded it.
Yeah, because the dummy is always stuck on that.
Yeah.
You know, could have hired me. That's that, for sure.
Well, obviously the matchmaking system blows. You know, that was a huge disappointment.
There's some, I mean, it's really, yeah. Well, the problem is that there's no like, losing means nothing.
Oh, yeah. The
Losing
ranking
means
system
nothing.
is horseshit.
You know, before I had a drunk friend that came in and messed my ranking ratio up. Shout outs to drunk guy.
A certain Denjin Chun player.
Yeah. Like, I had a really sick ratio. I'm like, dude, it should be matching me up with people that have really good ratios. Like, the #1 guy has like a really good ratio. I'm like, dude, I want to play that guy.
Yeah.
It's that guy. I want to give him some Alex love. You know? But you know, I would never. I'd get like, you know, level 1 guys, you know, guys that are 50 and 50 and stuff like that, and they're just mashing away, and it's no good for me. It's no good for that guy's self-esteem. It's like, you know, it's no good. So it would have been cool to be able to search ranked by, you know, either same skill or higher rank, just like every other Capcom game that's come out after ThirdStrike. So problems with you know, searching for opponent for a long time.
Yeah, you know, the fact that you can't do any sort of sorting to ensure that you have a better connection than like orange and red, you know. Like,
right, it gives you the opponent, wait to see what color it is, and then accept or decline.
Yeah.
It's like,
you're just like you're pretty much looking in the dark, you know, like you could get anything. And, you know, that really sucks when, even if say like 50% of your games are greens or yellows, you know, those players usually suck too. So it's like, at the end of the day, you're looking at like a 1 out of 10 or 1 out of 20 ranked games is something that you have fun with. You know, someone that provides remotely a challenge to you. I mean, I'm not
just
trying to
something that's, no, it's not even that, it's something that you can actually get something out of, something that can actually you know, add to you leveling up as far as you getting your ass beat and learning, or you having a really good game against someone that pushed you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The problem is that the level of that doesn't happen that much in ranked games. You gotta go to player lobby, which is another ordeal.
Yeah.
So
I'm not too familiar with that, but you know, the times that I've spent playing ranked matches for a long time, I feel like, I mean, maybe just excuse making, but I feel like every game that I lose is just due to the lag more than anything. You know, I haven't felt like I've gotten a real solid game through ranked the whole time that I've played Online Edition. Every time it's been someone just abusing a lag tactic, or somebody that is so clueless.
it's very
that the lag
hard. It's very
matters.
hard to gauge what exactly happened because of the lag.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, I mean, like there's players that I know for sure that, you know, I would be beating way easier.
Yeah.
Like I'm not even losing to these people, but I know it would not be this hard.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know, and there's players that beat me with, they'll like pick Yun and like, oh well, you think Ginny Jin was hard to block now? Wait till you play it online.
Yeah,
you know?
serious.
It's like, you know, and then next day they're like, haha, here's me beating your ass, ReNiC. It's like sick, bro. Sick. You know, but like that's the thing is, it's very hard to tell where is it going wrong with when there's lag involved. You know, and yeah.
I never feel like I play any good games, you know, like the damage that I get, I feel like it's just the person like sucked or like just stopped blocking for some reason, but like it's impossible to do something really sick in Online Edition because, you know,
You gotta play Urian,
something that requires really precise movement or like quick reactions
Yeah,
is
no, it's
impossible in the
definitely,
game.
it's definitely, not that it's dumbed down because you can still do it as far as in the game, but when the lag is involved, there's no intricacy in it, there's no surgical movements, it's all very like, you know, you should probably just stick to max range low 40x fireball kind of thing. Like,
Yeah,
that's basically, you know, or if you're Urian, you should just basically stick to fierces, sweeps, and build meter till you get Aegis, and then Aegis, and then high level it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's what online is kind of broken down to as far as when there's not a good connection. And you know, it's great that they got GDPO on a Capcom game and all that, you know, but it's not as like the playability online is not as good as Street Fighter 4, as MVC 3.
I want to talk about GGPO. I'm not like making any judgments right now.
No, you gotta understand. I actually love GGPO for like Darkstalkers and ST.
Yeah.
Like it's great. It works great.
But
there was one game that did not work great with.
Yeah.
And it was ThirdStrike.
See, that's what I'm confused about. Is I remember reading, you know, a while back, why is it that GGPO sucks with ThirdStrike and it's only ThirdStrike? Because, like, I only play ThirdStrike, but I fuck around with some other games. I played Alpha 2 and ST on GGPO, and it works great. And I remember hearing, you know, the problem was CPS3, you know, you couldn't dive into the code of the games itself. So there was a problem where you like were just sending an enormous amount of information between each player when they were connected. And I heard once we can unlock the source code, you know, GGPO is going to work great for ThirdStrike. Well, once we get Online Edition, it's like marginally better at best, in my opinion. Like, probably 85% of the games are the same quality I got when I played on GGPO when it was on PC. So I'm not making any judgments here, but can someone explain that to me? You know, if GGPO is such a great tool for doing fighting games online, why does it still work so bad for ThirdStrike? Even though it was officially licensed for Online Edition. I'm very confused about that. It was a huge disappointment to me. Because I was expecting like ST GGPO.
I thought it was going to be an ST.
That's
kind
what I
of
thought.
Like, yeah.
Because ST on GGPO is almost like playing offline. Very close.
No, it's very good. Dude, the ST lobby on GGPO is like It's packed, man.
Yeah, and there's foreign players.
Yeah.
People can play against foreign players and get good games.
Yeah.
In online edition, I don't dare play anyone outside of SoCal. You know?
I know, it's like, damn, I should just drove to your house. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like the times that I played somebody up in NorCal, I played Haunts and Kinetics a couple of times, and I just don't feel good about the games, man. They're not fun to play. Anytime I played someone out of California, you know, fuck that, I'll never do that again.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I heard that you got some decent games against you when you were living in Arizona, but...
Right, but then, like, okay, we got some okay games, but it was more because we played each other so much that we didn't really
I think you know what you're talking
need
about.
to see the screen in the sense of like, oh, it's this setup. His 3 options are this. I'm gonna pick option B.
Yeah.
Because last time it was like very like meta game like you know what I mean, because it was me and him when we played against each other so much. There was a lot more going on other than the teleport, like KO. Oh, I'm not really dead. Just kidding. But when you're playing against someone you don't even know, that you don't even haven't like gathered time to gather data against, it's very like, okay, what is this?
Yeah, it's impossible to learn their style of play. You know, when you play against someone a lot, you kind of develop a rhythm of your games against them. But when you have to react to people, reaction is just way too hard on online edition. It's way too difficult. Like, I'm just glad I don't play a character that is uses reversals a lot, like Ken or Chun-Li to a lesser extent, because that would be completely impossible. Like, can you imagine trying to do reversal Jinrai against block low forward? I could never do
You
that.
definitely have to go at it a lot less casually. You literally have to like kind of just bunker down and wait for it and only look for that kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's not a thing like in the arcade, like you play cans, like you go about your business and oh, I blocked it, reversals. You have, you get it like at the end and you have just enough time to do it. This, it's like you are just waiting for that. You're just waiting for your one opportunity to do it. So the flow is different as far as that, it kind of makes, by the way, turtling is the way to go.
Yeah, I know that. I learned that on arcade.
Yeah. Anyway. But yeah.
Do you think, just in general, before we move on to the next topic, do you think, let's just talk about Xbox version, do you think it's better than PS2?
I only have an Xbox, but anything online, anything that's going online, I would just say yes, because you actually pay for the service, and it's not just like
Well, I meant like, if you're going to a console tournament, what would you rather be on, Xbox or PS2?
Xbox, because that's what I play on, but I'm sure at this point it's just whatever.
Yeah.
But I would think Xbox would be the better way to go.
Yeah, I totally agree. But I know a lot of people have said like, oh, this is for sure better than the old PS2 version. I'm not sold. It might just be that I'm used to practicing on PS2 at home. It doesn't feel way better than PS2 did on Xbox.
I don't know. I like this version the best, even though it might not be the best one. It's either, I mean, it could be a combination of this. It's like, I finally got a Sumitsu stick that I'm using now. It could, like, maybe that's why I feel better on it.
It's possible.
It's maybe because I'm better as a player, now that I'm doing that it's easier for me to do better things, so it doesn't really, wouldn't have mattered what order the versions of ThirdStrike would have came out.
Yeah.
I don't know, but it is my favorite version of ThirdStrike of consoles, but like I said, I don't know what the reason is for.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of stuff about online edition that people haven't really pinned down. Like the input drops, you've heard about that too, right? A lot of people have complained about EX moves coming out inconsistently.
I have a problem with EX moves and certain characters' car grabs.
Yeah, I
Like
agree.
Alex's car grab for some reason is I played in a tournament one time, and for the life of me, I could not get a card grab to come out. So I don't know if the timing changed, or if it's accepting inputs differently. You know, maybe they changed it to try to make it better for netcode. I don't know, but some card grabs are a little bizarre, and so are EX moves. It feels.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know what the reason is.
Either you have to do it differently, or something's just losing in translation or something.
I don't know. I think GGPO definitely contributes to that with its like rollback shit. I'm sure that could.
Do you think it's GGPO, or do you think it's because I've had it happen even offline?
Well, yeah, that's all I can say is I think GGPO contributes to it, but it's happened to me offline too. The first night I played Xbox, I was struggling with card grabs, and I mean I don't play character with EX moves, so I can't verify that. But I know a lot of people have complained about it enough that I take that seriously. I don't think it's just people, you know, having a hard time on a new version. I think that there's something there that's causing that problem, but I don't know what it is.
You know, what's funny is I saw Alex Bahi missing EX uppercuts. And you know how he likes those EX uppercuts.
Well, there you go. That's your
so
proof.
You know it's proof.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about a little bit. I don't know. This is kind of a sad subject, but a little bit happier at the same time. Back at the end of July, Denjin closed, which has been a difficult adjustment for all of us. And one thing I wanted to do since then was just talk a little bit about some of our favorite Denjin memories, because Denjin was, you know, a really important spot for ThirdStrike and a really important spot for us. And it sucked since it's closed. I mean, Ty was not around for the last like 2 months or something, but Ty was a Denjin player for like 2
I was actually
years.
the first person to play.
Oh, before it opened?
In Denjin.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I had to play against.
Eric's shaking his head.
Dude, I carried the cabinet in, buddy. Sorry, I've had to play against 12s, or Bagrat's ridiculous 12. Yeah.
That's no fun.
Anyway, but yeah, no, I mean that, like, you know, Denjin was like the spot for ThirdStrike, and it was just like, I don't know, dude. Unfortunately, like, I was gone, and you guys like lost like the hatred, the power. I don't know, like closed down. I don't know, but it's just.
Well, that's one thing that's true is the times that Ty would leave for Arizona, people would always say, you know, things aren't the same with Ty gone. You know, there's nobody screaming at each other. There's just a significant lower amount of hate.
Lower amount of energy. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's an important part of the arcade atmosphere. It totally is, man.
No, I just like, dude. That's, you know, it's very like, I don't know. It's much easier for me to level up and learn against someone when I really hate them.
Of course. I don't know about you, but I remember my first couple of years playing ThirdStrike, I kind of kept a mental list of players in my head who I really wanted to beat.
You're like, oh, once I'm beating this guy, I'm on the right track.
Yeah, exactly. Those were the people that I aimed for most, that kept me motivated sitting there in hours fucking around on training mode. And you don't have that so much when you don't play in the arcade, because I guess it's a lot easier to hate somebody when you play them all the time and they're right across the cabinet talking shit to you, saying, "Oh, what was that right there? Huh? You're a faggot."
Yeah.
You know, like
the good old clap.
Yeah.
The good old clap. Yeah.
Yeah.
Horrible, dude. Horrible.
I'm my personal favorite is Corona Clap.
Oh, the Corona Clap.
That's my favorite.
Horrible.
What would you say your favorite Denjin tournament was?
It's probably I think it was it's either got to be it's got to be either the SVO, one of the SVOs that, well, it was a really sad SVO because we didn't take it, but
Oh, in 2009.
it was either